Hey there, in this video, I'm going to show you how to find your ideal nutrition client, and this is going to help you successfully sell your nutrition services or products. My name is Lynn, and I'm the CEO and business coach who runs the Holistic Nutrition Hub. I often find it hard to describe exactly what I do as I wear many hats. I am a business coach and strategist, but have used my creative skills in website design and social media work as well. I've been teaching in nutrition schools and business for over 5 years and continue to learn and teach about many topics that I'm passionate about, like permaculture, food awareness, and inspiring new practitioners. Today, I want to talk to you about finding your ideal nutrition client. It's not as hard as it seems, but it's important that you take the time to figure out who your perfect client is so that you can focus your marketing efforts and provide the best service possible. Be sure to also grab the free handout that goes along with this video. The link is in the description. And on that note, let's get started. Most business coaches miss a vital step when helping their clients determine their ideal client. So I need to tell a little story first to tie it all together. I started out the same way you did, fresh out of nutrition school with absolutely no clue what direction to take. Luckily for me, I had previous experience in business and administration, which came in super handy because I already knew how to set up many of the business processes that would streamline the work and make it more functional for both me and my clients. But even with all these strengths, I experienced imposter syndrome 100% with the usual thoughts of, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, or how could anyone possibly follow my advice? It took me a long time to actually get over those fears and finally put myself out there so that others would get to know and trust me. Over the years, I've realized how much I love to teach and share my knowledge. And this has turned into a business where I can help nutrition professionals become the best they can in their business. In the end, I get to teach and help even more people because I'm sharing my passion with the leaders of the industry. I get to help many more people this way. I think the main reason I didn't base my business on teaching and leading in the first place was that nobody asked me what my why was. Before trying to determine your nutrition client avatar, you need to ask yourself 3 important questions. And these are questions that you really need to dig deep on. Why are you starting your nutrition business? Seems like an obvious one, but a lot of people have a hard time answering that question. What are your passions and values around helping others? And are you in this for the long haul? Because building a business takes work, energy, time, and grit. So answering these before you get started might make it easier down the road. This is going to allow you to accurately and wholeheartedly answer these questions and any work that you do in your business. You need to be very clear on your why. It's going to be the fuel to your fire, and it's also going to help you uncover the ways that you're going to communicate with your audience. Defining your why is like stepping into the shoes of your ideal client. We need to discuss and be clear on who your ideal customer is, what are their pain points, what questions you should be asking them, are there potential objections to your services, what does success and failure look like for your client, and after working through your nutrition services, what does the transformation for that client look like? And then lastly, does your potential ideal client actually need the services that you're offering? Answering these questions are going to help you market and understand how to ensure your clients will purchase your nutrition services or products. Without answering this, you don't have clarity on who you're actually selling to or whether or not the product is actually going to sell. I often say that we are our own ideal client, and that if we have already gone on our own health journey, we should be able to look back and create something that we would have needed during this time. When you look from the point of view of your prospective clients, you should be able to identify what they really need or want. If you think back to my story at the beginning, it probably sounds very similar to yours. And now I've turned that into a company that helps nutrition professionals because I know that there is a need for this. So when you're creating a business for your ideal client, that means you need to talk to potential clients and find out what their main concerns are. You can also ask people who have worked with you already for input on what information they need so you can improve the services that you already provide. This also would count if you're a student and have had, case studies or people that you have worked with as a student as well. From here, you can build your plans knowing that someone is already looking to buy it because they need it. And step 3 is knowing your buyer persona. So a buyer persona is also known as a client avatar or an ideal client in the business world. A buyer persona helps you create a quote unquote character that suits your ideal client or niche and should be formed based on your market research. Some traits, for example, might be the demographics like age, gender, and location. And those are really the easiest places to start. But stopping there is pretty superficial, and they don't always help you create messaging that speaks to the deeper desires and the needs of your prospective clients. What you really want to do is uncover the reasons why a person would reach out to you about your services. You can try some of these questions like, what is your ideal client struggling with? How does their problem make them feel? What's their goal in relation to that problem, obviously? And what stopped them from finding the solution up until now? What is that ideal outcome going to look like for them? And how can you exceed their expectations? You want to be standing out from the rest. So pain points are the reason that your client is looking for help from you in the first place. In other words, it's the problem that your client is having. Essentially, your job as a coach is to determine what problem needs to be solved, how it's going to be solved, and who's going to solve it. Hint, that's you. Knowing this allows you to create a program that is completely individualized for them, and that should be successful at the end of your work together. So you need to ask, what are their top 3 pain points and what are the obstacles that they could be facing? For example, if you are working with a busy mom who has a picky eater and works in a busy office and doesn't have time for lunch, those are some of her obstacles and pain points because maybe she wants to lose 10 pounds or wants to just feel more balance in her life, and these are getting in the way. I often speak about how fear, limiting beliefs, and stories can prevent us from starting to work toward a goal in the first place. It's often the reason many people end up not being successful with their goal as well. We need to understand what our clients' biggest fears are when they come to us with their objections below. Having a solution and understanding where the fear is coming from is a completely necessary point to try and sell your packages and services. So you need to be asking things like, what are their potential fears? What's holding them back? Are there easy fixes that you can offer them? And lastly, what is the danger if they don't start with you now? For example, if somebody has a chronic health condition, maybe they are metabolically imbalanced and they're leaning or tipping towards diabetes. So that would be the danger of, if they don't start with you now, it could progress into something more serious. Also, if your client has objections, they could be objections, negotiations, excuses. These all fall under the same category. But imagine you're offering a program to them and they have come up with any number of reasons either to not do it, to change it, or even think they know the best way to move forward, unless they've decided not to go with you. So you need to know what the potential objections are to the sale and offer solutions to these objections. Often when you know their fears or their limiting beliefs, the objections and the rest of the excuses fall away. To be successful, we first have to determine the exact outcome that your client is going to achieve with you. This is where you need to dig into their values and ensure that you understand what their ultimate achievements will be. Think about what they desire, how you're going to get them there, and what process you will be taking with them to make sure that they're successful. Imagine that your client has completed their work with you and was successful in reaching their goals. How is their life going to change? Imagine your client didn't follow your recommendations. What are the potential outcomes if they don't use your service or product? You need to look into the future for this and imagine, if you have a nutrition health journey and this is the niche that you've decided to go in, you can really step into those shoes of your ideal client, like I said at the beginning of this presentation. So smart businesses understand what their customers want, and they fill those needs better than their competitors. I cannot reiterate that enough. Another way to think about this is to dig into what some of the other services or products that are already out there and maybe are oversaturated in the holistic nutrition world. You want to build your services around what is missing, not what is already there. You're wanting to serve a need and not repeat over and over again the same thing others are offering. You need to stand out. So just a quick recap, you need to understand your why. You need to understand your client's needs, define their persona, age, demographic, where they live, what their pains and fears are, what potential objections they may have, and what success looks like. And you need to know all of this so that you can ultimately sell to your clients. By going through the steps in this lesson, you're going to be able to answer, is there even a market for what I'm selling? If there isn't, there's no point in designing a program that doesn't attract clients. Always do your market research ahead of time so you set yourself up for success from the beginning. It's time to get started and create a unique product or service for your ideal client that stands out from the competition. And that's the key to success. Research the market, talk to potential customers, develop a plan of action, and make sure you understand whom you're targeting. With the right research and dedication, you're going to be on the path to success in no time. Lastly, if you are looking for nutrition business help, hop on a call to chat strategy or fire me an email and we can go from there. Thanks for watching.